Will Web3 eSports take over Web2 eSports?
I'm James, the founder of MCRT. It's a play-to-earn Web3 game. And we're going to be having a presentation coming up shortly, and I'll talk about Web3 and how Web3 is going to become very popular or make crypto mainstream through esports, which is going to be beautiful. If you have any questions, let's keep them to the end. I'll do a lot of we can just ask questions about Web3 technology, about founding a project during a bear market. I'm also, I've got a YouTube channel, James Crypto Guru, around 200,000 subscribers across socials. And you can ask me questions about the markets and things like this. I was the only one in the world to, I think, although online, to call the top in November of last year. So I do think we're close to the bottom and time to start buying. So I've been founding MCRT, MagicCraft, for about, now it's a bit more than 1 year. When we launched, it was at the end of the bull market. We had a $100 million market cap. Then the bear market started, but we raised quite a lot and have been building the entire time. And you're going to see some of that gameplay footage as the presentation starts as well. And it's been quite a difficult journey. I've experienced markets since 2012. I was an early adopter in crypto, mining Bitcoin in 2012. So I have some experience with bear markets, bull markets, and that put us quite in a good position when the bear market came, because I knew to quickly exit to protect our capital. We're multi-sig. We store our treasury in multi-sig wallets. So if you're a founder of any projects or if you're building something, that's a very big key point, actually, to make sure you use multi-sig wallets. And if you're just new to crypto or you don't research multi-sig, what multi-sig is, instead of your wallet having one signatory, so you have one phrase, 12 words that protects your wallet. With multi-sig, you have 3 people, 2 of the 3 have to confirm a transaction. So that really makes a big difference in security for your wallets or for your currencies. Because that means you could have your mom, your father, or your friend that will be, 2 of them will have to confirm a transaction. So it gives a lot of safety. So I'm going to talk about, will Web3 take over Web2 esports? And I believe so, because of the Web3 crypto gaming markets. It's a joining of 2 huge markets. It's joining of gaming market, which is a $300 billion a year industry, and the crypto markets, which market cap around $800 billion right now. So 2 very big industries, which are growing exponentially, are merging together. And that's going to create a very big industry. So this is me. You can find me on YouTube. MCRT is the ticker. I've got 200,000 followers. MagicCraft MCRT has around 300,000 followers, so about 500,000 people. I'm advising 10 startups. I've invested in 40 crypto startups. And I've got a lot of students across my different, I've got different courses and stuff for the last 4 years. You can check out those courses as well. So evolution of esports. The first esports competition, the prize was a long subscription to Rolling Stones magazine in 1972. So the first big prize was a subscription to a magazine. Forward about 20 years later or 30 years later, now the prize last year for Dota was $40 million for the esports Dota competition. 2.7 million people were watching it, and that's a big feat. But what's going to be incredible is the merger of crypto with this. Because why is crypto so powerful? Why is the blockchain crypto technology so powerful? 1, it's decentralized. You have ownership of your money. 2, it allows microtransactions. And all the big things that happen in crypto, really it comes down to microtransactions. You can transact small amounts, and you can split those amounts up. So for example, if I send you $1, normally you couldn't take a 5-cent fee from that $1. The 5 cents is too small for a bank or someone to process that fee. But with cryptocurrency technology in the blockchain, you can have microtransactions. So on a $1, you could put a transaction fee of 5% that would take 5, for example. So microtransactions, it's what's making these massive exchanges billions of dollars, or in FTX's case, billions of dollars that has been lost, but that's what makes those exchanges so valuable, or the biggest players in the space, exchanges. Why? Because they're getting cents to every transaction you make. They're getting a small portion of that through fees. So it's quite that's why crypto is so powerful. The global market of esports is quite big now. It's nearing, in 2020, it was 1.3 billion, the total revenue from gaming. And it's going to be growing to 1.8 billion by 2025, and it's projected to become one of the biggest markets. Why? Because half the people in the world now use internet and mobile phones. So 3 billion people are playing games now through their phones. And before it used to, when I played games, I was the only one on my laptop in the class playing games and no one else played games. Now my mum plays games, everyone plays games from their phone. So it's quite a big industry. Now when you kill time, you've got two options, TikToking or three. TikToking, YouTube, Instagram, the social, or playing games. And it's becoming more popular, especially as your devices become more powerful. At the moment, or a few years ago, even last year, most of the games like Axie Infinity, they're like the same bubble games and these simple snake games that you played back in the 1980s. Now gaming on Android, iOS devices is becoming very powerful. The chips are very powerful. The processing power is really strong. And now you're going to start having games like what we're building, MagicCraft, which you'll see coming up, which allows very powerful gaming. It's almost the same as PC gaming. And it's growing very quick. So esports audience worldwide is growing massively as well. 270 million people. It's around 500 million people are playing occasional gamers and esports enthusiasts, and it's quite a big market. At the moment, Web 2 basics are you've got centralization, so the companies, the Web 2 companies are owning your, so whether it's Instagram, whether it's League of Legends, whether it's Dota, they own the entire game, they own your gold, they own the currencies, and you're buying like characters off them, but you don't actually own the characters, you don't actually own the gold, you don't own anything in the game. You're buying from them and they're providing you a service. That's how it currently works. They have complete ownership, it's pay to play, so you pay to play the game. And that's how it's been for a long time. It's since I started gaming the last 20 years, it's been you pay, you get a game, and you can play that game. Now it's changing. With Web 3, you're starting to get ownership of the game. And that sounds small, but when you have a $300 billion a year industry, for example, when I was 15 years, I played a game called years old, Lineage 2. And inside that game, I managed to farm this bow called the Draconic bow, and it would sell on eBay for $10,000 US, each of these bows. So even back then, it was these economies are massive. One of the games, Lineage 2, which was NC Soft, it had the economy of the 35th or 37th biggest country in the world. It was bigger than all the remaining countries in that game. So now with Web 3 and Play to Earn, you can actually own those assets. You can own the currency, those weapons, those items inside your wallets, like in your MetaMask, like your own tokens. You can own them as NFTs. So you can own characters, you can own weapons, you can own the game itself, you can own the money in the game. And that's what we're trying to build with MCRT. We're building the currency for gaming. We want to be the base currency that runs across this $300 billion a year industry, 3 billion players. And why that's also powerful is because it's going to bring those gamers into crypto. Nothing is going to grow crypto faster than gaming. Why? Because these people are already using mobile devices. They're already using the internet. They're already using currencies, digital currencies that are just not real. But with Web 3, they become real. When they open this game, when they start playing, they're going to actually have this, they're going to access cryptocurrency. So it's going to bring crypto, which is around 200 million people right now, to 3 billion people, and it's going to do it very quickly. You can see the growth of core gaming, and it's invested in blockchain. This year, it's been, so far in 2020, we've had $5 billion invested in, it's going to be 12 billion by the end of the year, so massive investment is coming into the space. Us, ourselves, we raised 3 million on the public IDO. We went to a market cap of 100 million after the launch, so there's a lot of money already in the gaming space. Right now, we're sitting at 11 million. MCRT, you can Google, and you can see the stats on CoinMarketCap. Web3 gaming, at the moment, the challenges are in creation of this technology, because Web3 technology doesn't actually exist yet. So with MCRT, with MagicCraft, we've already developed the fact that you need to have an NFT to access the game. The blockchain, you will connect your wallet, it will confirm that you have one of these NFTs or a certain amount of tokens, and it will give you access to the game. Right now, the game is in iOS and Android in beta, so beta.magicraft.io. And it will later also be in PC, and then consoles and VR. So now we've got the NFT gate, which you need an NFT to access the game. What we're also building is the Web3 tournament systems. So you're kind of joining the tournaments using real currency, using MCRT currency to join the tournaments. And why that's powerful is with smart contracts, we can make a percentage fee on each of the games that take place in these tournaments. At the moment, Theater Arena, which is one of the biggest play-to-earn games, has 24 million people playing. And each fee that is taken, the smart contract can give that fee to a bigger tournament prize. So every game that's taking place in MagicCraft and MCRT is contributing to a bigger overall prize. And we expect those prices, like Dota right now is 40 million, but the integration with crypto, we're expecting it to be hundreds of millions of dollar prizes, which once that starts to happen, it's amazing. You can already right now with beta.magicraft.io, when I can pull out my phone, open the game whenever I'm bored, and I can play for 1,000 MCRT prizes, which right now is around $6. You can win 3 times per day, so around you can make around $24 a day at the moment playing MCRT, or if you're winning the games. That sounds small, but a month ago you were winning $2.40 per game, or 2 months ago. It then went up 20 times, and now we've corrected a little bit because of what's been happening recently with FTX and stuff like this, but it's still showing that you can earn money, and that's amazing, because even now when I'm bored, I can just sit and scroll Instagram or something like this, or post on my socials. I have 77,000 followers on YouTube, and 70,000 on Twitter or something. I can post, or I can just open MagicCraft, play, and I can be earning money while I'm just chilling. And that's this is one of the characters, Blazy, in the game. She's also becoming an NFT. We have 3 characters that are NFTs. All the characters in the game, 25 characters, will be NFTs, and you need to have the NFT to access the game. Now that brings up another challenge, because Apple and iOS, they're trying to stop the development of Web3. They're actually trying to block it. Why? Because NFT technology bypasses their payment gateway systems. So if you have an app on Apple, or you have iOS, Google, you're paying 30% in fees for you to buy some in-game asset. Now that goes, NFT and Web3 goes directly against Web2 and Google and Apple's ecosystems, where they're making billions of dollars. So they're trying to stop Web3 technology. And that's kind of a hurdle, but we've developed ways around that as well. Things like running parallel. At the moment, the way we're doing it is you're buying an NFT in the game. That NFT, the problem is if you buy an NFT in Apple, it's not the 30% fee that's the issue. That fee is okay, but the problem is they don't allow that NFT to exist as a public NFT. It exists in the Apple ecosystem as an NFT on Apple's chain inside their ecosystem, but you can't transfer that NFT to your MetaMask, for example, which goes directly against what the whole purpose of Web3 is, that you own your items, you own your characters, you own the digital asset in your wallet. So Apple is actively trying to block this. But that's okay, because we know that eventually they'll either join this industry or they'll get replaced by this industry. That happens with all technologies. Crypto is a revolution. Web3 is a revolution in technology. You can get caught up in too much. A lot of people get caught up in the price fluctuations. But I've been in crypto since 2012. It's a scam, it's not a scam, it's bull market, it's not bull market, it's at the top of the peak, it's not. And every year this market is growing. It's now a $800 billion industry. It reached $3 trillion. If someone told you those numbers in 2012, you wouldn't believe them, because the market back then was sitting under 100 million, the total market cap of everything. Now we're sitting at 800 billion. We went to $3 trillion market cap during this bull market. And every bull market, the peak is 3 times bigger than the peak of the previous bull market. So if you can think of that right now, the peak of this bull market was 3 trillion. If we go by the same growth that's been happening, the next one will be a $9 trillion peak in the bull market. Bitcoin would be at then, it was 69,000. 3 times that would be putting Bitcoin at 210,000, and it's been the same through my journey in crypto. This is our Web3 kind of tournament system, where you're paying MCRT to join the overall tournament. That's taking a percentage of those fees and making the overall bigger tournament prizes. And each of the games you can create lobbies and you can join the game. This is a trailer of the game. So this is the game on mobile. It's actually playable right now, beta.magiccraft.io. We have beta testers playing every day. You can join them, 1,000 MCRT per game for the MVP. This is some gameplay footage that we have with our team. Every day we're having in-game team meetings.
I'm priceless. Oh, what?
And we've actually developed our own engine. It's using Unity, but it's got modifications that allows extra, more space, more players in one map, using special shader technology. So each of these players in the game is a real person playing from their mobile device. And I can pull it on my phone right now and start playing. It's very fun, actually. It looks very simple, but it's very skill-based. Like, if you're a skillful player, you're going to keep winning. So those are some of the characters. Those are some of the NFTs and the characters that you can pick in the game. Each person has their specific character that they love to play. I like Zap and Blazy. And we see quite a big market. 24 million players, what Theater Arena has. There'll only be 10,000 of each character. We also have our own NFT marketplace, so the after-selling value of the NFTs will be also quite large. You can scan my YouTube channel or CoinMarketCap for MCRT. And yeah, I've been building the game. Our team is around 40 40 developers, Web3, Unity developers, web 3D modelers, riggers. We have an amazing team that we've actually bought the studio, and they're part of MagicCraft. That's been one of the big achievements we've created. Our game is already in beta, and we have quite a lot of players playing now as well, which is very fun. Thank you, everyone. And if you have any questions about Web3, development, Bitcoin, crypto, I'm happy to answer. And if you're wondering, should you get into the space? Yes, because it's a $300 billion a year industry. And right now, our game is one of the leaders in actual gameplay. If you compare them to Axie Infinity, Theater Arena, the other games, you see quite a big difference. So if you're into gaming, but be prepared that why there's only a few games that have actually managed to build, because it costs a lot. Our game has developed, it's cost around $10 million to develop our game. You have a studio, 3D modeling, 3D games, the development of this kind of quality of game takes 4 years and millions of dollars of development. So that's why you're seeing these other games that have turn-based style games or very basic games, because it's just much cheaper to develop. So unfortunately, if you invested in a lot of these other gaming projects, be careful, because they really need to have a really strong team. They need to have a very big development studio. It takes a lot to get to the level of quality that you just saw with MagicCraft. It's 4 years of development of 40 developers, and that's just the gaming side. We also have around 40 people that are smart contract developers, front-end developers, back-end developers, full-stack developers. So it's quite a big team that you need to. So be careful investing in play-to-earn games. Really look for the strong projects that can really build what they're saying and have the finances to do it. Thank you very much, everyone. Yes. Right now, we have, of the 10,000 NFTs, we have 4,000 have been sold, and the NFTs give you access to the game. At the moment, we're seeing around 500 active users in the beta testing. Any other questions? And I've been buying a lot of Bitcoin, Facebook, Google, TSM, Ethereum, Cake. These are the cryptocurrencies that I like a lot. And I sold everything in November, on November 11th at 69K. And I've really been starting to buy it down here. And if you're still in crypto like you are here, if you stick through it during the bear market, these are the hardest times, especially when FTX, stuff like this happens. But if you stick through it in the next bull run, anyone that sticks through it now are the ones that are going to be successful in the future. So don't get disheartened by what's happening in the market. This is the time you can make money. That's exactly kind of what we did. We bought the studio that had already been developing this code. The thing that you have to be careful with is you need to buy the whole studio. You can't just buy the code, because the studio builds the game. Their minds are behind it. Their artists are behind it. So if you just buy the code and then you try to get another studio to keep developing on it, it can be a bit of a problem, because another studio comes in, they might not be able to work with the code. So if you're going to buy the code, it's recommended buy the whole studio that developed the game itself. But that's a quicker way to go into it.
Even though they're using an engine?
Even using an engine. They have their own ecosystem, their own ideas. Those characters, when they fight, it looks like, okay, the character's fighting, but they're balanced very specifically. Otherwise, one character's overpowered, and it's like the whole game is built by the team, their minds, their ideas. It's very specific. So if you are going to, it is a quick way to buy the code, but you need the developers that worked on the code or the team that worked on the code. I would recommend. Any other questions? Beautiful. Thank you very much, everyone.